What's up, guys? Kyle here with Crypto Theory. All right, let's talk some Bitcoin, okay? I'm not even going to do the intro or anything like that. Let's just talk some Bitcoin, okay? Because the overall sentiment in the market is extremely bearish right now. I'm just going to put that out there in the open. The overall market is extremely bearish right now. The entire sentiment has changed drastically here in the last 2 to 3 weeks. And, you know, hey, I get it. I totally understand. I mean, when you have a dip, a crash, whatever you want to call it, when it was literally at 60 some odd thousand a few weeks ago, and now all of a sudden we're down at 32, kind of clinging above 30,000. It isn't pretty. I'm not going to lie and say that it looks great. It isn't pretty. However, is there a silver lining to all of this? Okay, we're trying to bring some hope into the market. Now, this is not professional financial advice. You guys know that. This is just kind of me thinking out loud. Okay, you look at the overall market right now. Bitcoin dominance just hanging around that 40% mark, a little bit above that right now. 24-hour volume is not great. I'm not going to lie. 24-hour volume for the entire market. For Bitcoin, it's low. You can see 47 billion right there. It's low for Bitcoin. It's very low for the overall market, okay? So it's not the kind of volume that we want to be seeing. However, you look at it today, that's up almost 35%. So that's kind of nice at least. But one thing I want to talk about, okay, and I haven't really seen anybody else really covering this, and this is kind of newer news that's just forming, just coming out, but I think that it is important to cover this, and I think it is telling. Now, this isn't me saying, oh, hey, the market's going back bullish tomorrow or anything like that, guys. At the end of the day, we're going to have to wait this thing out and see what happens. There's some experts out there that are calling the end of the bull cycle. There's some that are saying, hey, look, we're going to consolidate and we'll be heading back up the right direction. It's one of those things, it depends on what side of the coin you're on with that. Are you what side of the coin? Bitcoin. There you go. What school of thought are you part of? And it really depends on your point of view on it and everything. So I want to talk though about, regardless of what side of it you're on, the general bullishness of Bitcoin, not only now, but also in the future, okay? Because I think it's important to always still look at the future, because at the end of the day, I think all of us believe Bitcoin is the future, okay? If you're investing in crypto, hopefully you're not just doing it all speculatively. Hopefully you are learning things along the way. And I think it is important to notice that Bitcoin is the future, and I think it's incredibly important to study up on Bitcoin and learn about why that is and why Bitcoin is so desperately needed. Now, what I want to talk about is MicroStrategy, okay? This is something nobody's really talking about because it is, like I said, it is newer. It's a newer bit of information that we've gotten, but you can see they have upped their Bitcoin bond sale to 500 million. Okay, so they were selling 400 million in corporate debt. However, there was such demand by investors, they actually raised that to 500 million. Okay, and this is from today. Okay, this is literally from June 8th. So you can see right here, enterprise software firm MicroStrategy, one of the largest Bitcoin holders that there is. And their CEO, Michael Saylor, is maybe the most bullish on Bitcoin out of anybody in the world. Who knows? I don't, maybe not in the world, but certainly he's one of the most outspoken and vocal about his bullishness on Bitcoin. Basically, they announced yesterday that they were doing a corporate bond sale, and they raised it from 400 million to 500 million because the demand for it was so high. The publicly traded company plans to use the revenue to purchase Bitcoin atop the 92,000 Bitcoin they already hold. Now, it's been stated that they want to get over 100,000 Bitcoin. Okay, it's a huge sum of Bitcoin that they're going to have. That's a huge amount, but if that doesn't speak to the bullishness that they have towards Bitcoin, I don't know what does. Obviously, Michael Saylor is definitely a Bitcoin maximalist. He loves Bitcoin. That's all he really believes in, and that's fine. But I think in general, that speaks to the bullishness of what they believe Bitcoin will eventually come. Now, it doesn't go on to say, do they believe that that's going to be right now, or do they believe that that's going to be a couple, 4 years in the future, 10 years in the future, however long it is. It doesn't go over that. However, regardless, I don't think that you can debate the bullishness that they have towards Bitcoin and what this means right here, not just for them, but also the fact that they had to raise that another 100 million, another 20%, because the demand was so overwhelming for it. Okay, so you can see right here, they upped the sale after receiving 1.6 billion in bond orders from institutional investors eager to buy up the corporation's debt in return for a yield of 6.1% in annual interest. Okay, so excuse me, MicroStrategy all in on Bitcoin. We've known that for a while, but this right here just continues to confirm as as Bitcoin's price is dumping, they're still extremely bullish on it. Okay, they're looking at it and saying, man, this is like the best case scenario in terms of if we're trying to buy it. Now, again, that's not saying you should go out and spend a ton of money and dump it into Bitcoin, because look, at the end of the day, you've got to do your own research. You have to decide which side of the coin are you on. Are you of the mindset that the bull market is over and we're going to start going bearish, and maybe you need to change your plans a little bit in terms of how you're investing? Or are you of the school of thought where, look, this is a normal correction, this is healthy, this is the type of downturn I've been looking for, I get a second chance at this, and then all of a sudden this thing is going to pop off like nobody's business and I'm going to make a ton of money? Okay, so again, not professional financial advice. It all depends on where you fall on that debate and everything. But I wanted to get this out there to you guys because I think a very interesting bit of news right here showing that there is still a ton of demand in the market, even though the trading volume is not where we want to see it, both in the market in general and in Bitcoin in general. The trading volume is not where we want to see it. However, that doesn't mean that there's still not demand for this, okay? The volume will come back. At some point, the volume will come back. And I think, if nothing else, this speaks to MicroStrategy's thoughts on it and everything. And I think the important thing is, if you are a long-term believer in Bitcoin or crypto in general, this is a phenomenal opportunity that we're seeing take place. Does it turn bullish right away? Does it take until the next cycle? We're just going to have to wait and see, because this is kind of something that is confusing a lot of people as far as how this is all taking place. So guys, that's all I've got for that one right there. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think of MicroStrategy doing this, and what's your position on Bitcoin? All right guys, that's all we've got. Have a great rest of your day. We'll catch you in the next one.